Hi everyone, this is going to be a haul video for IMATS. I haven't been able to record it because I just got this brand new camera and I'm trying to test out, as well as the lighting and backdrops and whatever else that goes into filming. This is going to be a combined haul with Camera Ready Cosmetics because I did a little pre-shopping there knowing that I might not be able to get the products I really wanted to get in advance at IMATS. And so let's get started. First product I got was Purely Cosmetics Diamond Perfecting Powder. Probably not going to zoom in. Nope. And the reason why I get this is I've been using it for about 3 years now. And I literally just ran out the date of IMATS, but I knew it was running low. So I went there to get it because the Purely Cosmetics website has up their shipping fees to Canada, so it wasn't really worth my $34? Yeah, $34 to ship one product from their website. So when I was at Camera Ready Cosmetics, I decided to grab a few more things. Here we go. Ben Nye Scar Wax. Not very exciting if you're a beauty blogger, but I'm really happy to have it because my old stock of Scar Wax was getting kind of funky after, I think I've had it for 8 years. And you get a ton of product. This is 8 ounces of the Fair, and I also got the simulated bone wax. And partly because I wanted it for bone wax, but you can actually mix these two together to get a shade closer to my skin tone. As you can tell, I'm very fair. The other product I picked up, which I knew I can get at IMATS, but it was $13 versus $16, and that is RCMA no color powder. I know it's just pure talc, very fine melt though. It works with everyone. The other product I picked up was a neon metallic powder in copper. I have the gold and silver, and it's so nice. You get a ton of product in here, and yeah, I just wanted the copper, and no one locally was selling it. One of the last things I got at IMATS was the RCMA foundation palette in VK11, and it's kind of like an old color neutral, yeah, I'd say neutral palette. It's got more warm tones, slightly more beigeier tones, highlighters in here, which I'm probably going to end up using a lot of that white one, a contour shade, and the RCMA line was being sold at Kind of Magic at IMATS. And yeah, it was actually about the same price, but I wasn't sure what kind of deal they were having at the show, and basically Kind of Magic was only charging what they would normally there. You just get the benefit of being at the show to pick it up instead of worrying about shipping. And the last thing I got was some Ben Nye stippling sponges and fine. I'm out of mine. But speaking of Kind of Magic, I was debating on ordering this online, but I decided to wait till IMATS to pick it up. It's the Ben Nye Zombie Wheel. It's very similar to the Master Brewer's Wheel. The only difference is it has, what was the color? Yes, it has gray instead of a very light purple. It's almost magenta as the color. The first thing I picked up at a show, and I was super excited they were coming, was European Body Arts. I think they were being sponsored by Astute Artistry, which is a store in Toronto. Basically the booth was completely their product line, which is great, but I really wanted their new Encore palette. Encore! So I picked up the Undead palette, which is quite grueling in a good way. Again, like flesh tones, like rotting flesh tones and blood and gore and other crazy colors. It also smells like Fruit Loops, which is unusual. Appreciate it, but unusual. Initially, they actually sold me the wrong palette. There is actually no price or name on the back of the palette, so even though it was in the Undead palette, I got like the dark color foundation. Yeah, not what I was looking for. So they're able to exchange it, and they're nice enough to do $20 off, so retail is $79, so I got it for $59 Canadian, which is a good conversion rate as well. Next booth I went to was Steely Style. Now this brand was discontinued in Canada, So I picked up a few things here, and these are the, what is it, Gimme Lip Jumbo pencils, and I was missing 2 of them. So I got them in, oh, what is the color? Fabulous 50s and Frolicking 40s. Yeah, they got some pretty trippy names in the product line. I love these pencils. I was so sad when Rexel stopped selling them about 2 years ago. I think the person there was selling mentioned that they're being sold at Pharmacy, but most pharmacies don't have makeup in their stores, at least in my area. I'm not sure about the Toronto area. She's also nice enough, and they were doing this. They're handing out cream highlighters, so highlighting stick. I haven't tried it yet, but this kind of reminds me of Benefit's What's Up in terms of the color. Next booth I hit up was Rocky Cosette's. He was coming there by himself instead of being part of the Cat Cosmetics line. And he's brought his fabulous brushes again, but he also is introducing a new cosmetic line as well, and it's his version of cream foundations. And I was happy to find a shade that actually matches me. Now this one is in Yellow Orange G1, which is the fairest yellow shade. When I was researching his products online, I was convinced I was going to fall into the olive family. But the olive family is actually a true neutral family. So if you happen to be very fair like me, but you have a little more of a yellow, not yellow, pink undertone, the is it O? I think it's O1? Well, it's the olive foundation, O1. It kind of reads more neutral and a little more pinker, at least on my actual olive, yellow, orange, blue skin tone. A very weird coloration, so you can imagine that finding foundations was a challenge this year. I also like to point out this year was kind of crazy. Like, legitimately crazy, mentally, stressful, let's put it that way. I, honestly, after 4 hours being at the show, I was starting to, like, have some, you know, agoraphobia happening, and I'm not really agoraphobic, but it's just the entire environment was kind of getting to me after 4 hours of these massive mob lines. Like, MAC had a huge lineup for most of the day. Makeup Forever has a long lineup, but that's not unusual. It was just one more lineup. Crown Brushes had a huge lineup up until noon. Nigel's was constantly a lineup the entire day. What else? The Pixie Woo sisters were here in the morning, and there was a lineup next to Nigel's lineup, so it was just like a wall of women on the far side of the convention space. Oh, who else? Morph. Actually, I'll talk about Morph right now. I really wanted to buy some of their brushes, and it wasn't until 2 o'clock I was able to squeeze slowly into one of the corners to check out the Gunmetal series. I liked the brushes that I could see there, but I wasn't 100% happy with them. They're mostly straight shaft synthetic brushes, so they didn't have much texture for, at least when you're dealing with powder and creams. It's kind of nice having that new texture filament that they're using for a lot of brushes now. Unfortunately, I also wanted to check out their cosmetics, their contouring black series brushes, and yeah, it just wasn't happening there. I was like, put it down, walk away. Another booth that was a little bit crazy as well was Makeup Mansion Toronto. They had a quarter-size booth, and like the entire day there was women flocked around it, and it made it really hard to see what they were selling. I literally started jumping to get above the heads in this little crowd, and they were selling, what is it, Sleek, LA Girl, NYX, BH Cosmetics there at the time. They're going to have a store opening in Toronto soon, Young and Gerard. But they have more brands like JCat. I think JCat was the other one I could think of. Again, they don't have a website yet to show what kind of brands are selling, but it's kind of nice to have a store that actually sells products we can't really get in Canada. NYX, again, was a no-show to the show. which is unfortunate. It's the third year in a row they haven't shown up. I've emailed them trying to see if I can get some answers as to why. It's really disappointing because NYX always had the largest lineup, even larger than Makeup Forever, just because we don't have access to their product line in store. And yeah, it was so nice to be able to see the entire range of products they had to offer. And yeah, new products, whatever. So I'm a little disappointed with that. Another booth that was a no-show, which was really surprising because up to like a week before the convention trade show, they were listed. It was OCC. Now they didn't explain why they didn't show up or didn't have a booth. Like it was literally ripped off the map. When I went to print out, I'm like, where's OCC? And I get there, it's like, they're not here. It's really disappointing because I usually buy my OCC products once a year at IMATS because you can. I think last minute they posted on Facebook a note saying that Blur Makeup was carrying their product lines, but they only had the lip tars and the lip pencils. So anyone else that wanted their pigments, their nail polishes, their cream foundations, what else? What else do they sell? Cream products. Yeah, they weren't gonna have any. Fortunately for me, I only was looking for lip tars, but we'll get into that later. Another booth I went to, and I decided at that time when I was starting to feel a little claustrophobic, was MAC Cosmetics. I already put in my order. The lineup for MAC was just to pay for it, so you're standing, it's like 40 minutes at 2 o'clock. My lineup moved so I could get to the final front of the line for checkout. And yeah, that's when I actually took a break in terms of like, I need liquids, I need something to eat. I brought like a Kashi granola bar and 2 vitamin waters and just downed them when I was in the line because I was like, I need something and I can't stop moving. But what I picked up was not unexpected. I'm just popping it out of the containers here. Should have done that first, right? And yeah, it's not what most people go for MAC. Like, most people are looking for lipsticks, blushes, you know, more staple items. Me, because I knew it was getting low on it, I wanted to get the Chromaline and Pure White. Love this. It works as a base, it works as an inner rim liner, it works as just a gel liner. Yeah, so getting 20% off because I'm not a pro card member. Yes, it's 20% off for regular people and 40% off pro card members. So going to IMATS with a pro card is probably freaking awesome. But I bought the Pure White. I also got Black, which you're not going to be able to see on camera. It's a little bit denser than the fluid line. I do like this formula. And last minute I was talking to someone else because they didn't have the Pro Longwear Concealer. They had the Match Master Concealers, and I hadn't been able to test it out in person. So I tried out the #1 and it still was way too orange. So that was a little disappointing, but at least I didn't order it online and find out, like, I can't use this. But while I was talking to her, I was just like, last minute, I decided to pick up another Pro Pan and Blank type. Probably my favorite highlighter, at least from MAC. It is so buttery because it's a matte 2 shade. And even though I wasn't going to buy another one, I was like, you know what? I'm hitting a pan on mine, and even though I've got a ton of other highlighter shades, this is still my favorite. The other booth I was excited to go to was Jordane Cosmetics. Now, if you're in the US, you're probably thinking Jordane Cosmetics, the cheaper sister to Milani. Jordane Cosmetics is actually a, spelled with an E at the end, a theatrical slash studio slash TV makeup line. They've recently just launched their huge line of cosmetics, so they had everything that they offered, and I look forward to maybe buying some more of their products in terms of like pressed foundations, eyeshadows, lipsticks. They had these huge, beautiful but huge jars of loose pigments for pressing and whatever you wanted. There was one that was like opal, and I was like, it's not on my list, but it's so pretty. I might be able to pick that up later, but I mostly was going there for more FX products, and I finally picked up Third Degree, which is a, they had both Third Degree and Sculpt Gel there, which is by Mold Life. Third Degree is Alcones, maybe it's not Alcones. Yeah, it is Alcones. So they had it there. This one was $27. I think it's $20 US, so a little bit of markup, at least you don't have to pay for shipping. Scalp gel is $44, and you got a little bit extra, but I figured like this third degree would be a good way to start playing with the products, and if I'd like to have an adjuster, then I'll try the scalp gel eventually. But also, I was kind of wanting some drying blood, and PPI Products makes it. Jordane, I didn't know this, but Jordane just made their own. So this is in dark, and it's only $13. So I look forward to trying this out. They also had Scab blood, or Scab, in this tiny little jar for $2. I was like, well, that's worth trying it out. It's not like I'm using a ton of it anyways. They also had a few other oddities. I say oddities in a good way. They had like tiny scissors, and they also had like these tiny little shot glasses, and they're bottom weighted, so you can put like your liquid in there and they're not going to slide around too much on when you put your brush in and tip over. I also went to Bdellium Tools. I kind of wanted to check out their FX line, but I mainly just came to pick up these brow angled liner. The number is 760? Yeah. Actually, makes up about 8 of them I own now. They are my favorite for gel liners, lining my lips, doing my brows. They're so precise and so tiny that you're not going to worry about going too far off when you're drawing with them. So one place I stopped off finally was the Blur makeup room. Let's get this in frame. Yes, there we go. And I was actually planning to go there, but mostly I was really shocked and surprised because OCC had not shown up, there we go. They had the lip tars and lip pencils there, so I really wanted lip tars. That was actually the number one thing I was going to order, buy, purchase when I was there. Unfortunately, Blur didn't have the stock that I was looking for. I was looking for unusual shades like Hollywood, Techno Pagan, Digitalis, Sebastian, so I kept listing this off to one of the sellers there. She's like, no, we don't have it, no. We never got a stock for that, no. So finally I got to at least 2 of the ones I was looking for, and that is Manhunter, which is this orange, gold, red. It looks amazing when I swatched it in Sephora initially. And Jealous, which is the more yellow-toned stained gloss formula. I haven't done a review on these yet. I kind of wanted to get this one first before I did all of them together. They were $14 each, or if you got 4, they're $12 each. So you save $8 if you had 4 shades you wanted, but again, they didn't have my shades. The other thing I picked up, because I use mostly synthetic brushes, so I use instead of using a traditional brush cleaning soap, and there's so many out there, I use the Masters Artist hand soap. You get it at any art store really. It's this green block, but it does an amazing job of breaking down any cream products, silicones. It's a really good soap. It's designed to take off, like, you know, enamels without stripping your skin or being too harsh on your skin, so that's the reason why I like it for the brushes, because I know I can use it on my face if I needed to, and yeah, any transfer would be a non-issue. But I wanted a quick dry cleanser, so I ended up getting the Cinema Secrets little itty-bitty bottle for, I think, $6 was this one. It smells like vanilla once it dries, but it just mostly smells like alcohol when you first spray it. And last thing I got at that booth, even though I had ordered the benign waxes, was this Scraftoly modeling wax. And I don't know if you can tell, one, it's closer to my skin tone, and 2, it is semi-translucent, which has a more natural skin-like texture. So even though I bought the big ones, I kind of want to try this for more detailed wax work, if that makes sense.